was Irv with myself, Suge, and Jay Prince. And we had a real meeting. And the meeting was, Suge was like, I got everything on the West Coast. Jay's like, Irv was like, we'll take the East Coast. And Jay Prince was like, I got everything else. A whole middle of the country. He's like, I got all of that. And the idea was to start a union and create distribution for the artists and get money from these labels, budgets that they have when they sign, make them like force the labels to put into this to create insurance and everything for all of that shit for the artists. You know.
What happened?
Golf is, if you ain't practicing, you ain't gonna be nice. It's one of them games. You ain't gonna be just pick up a basketball and be like, nah. That's not happening.
That might be the hardest sport to play.
That's not. It's one of the hardest for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
How many times you play?
Me?
Yeah.
In a year?
In a year.
If I get out there 3 times, that's about it.
3 times.
In a year. I just played at the Ball Alert charity shit. You know what I'm saying? I played in that. I did good there. But look, deals. You tell deals. I just got the Uptown magazine. He's the #1 distributor for Tubi and all the movies, and it's my man. I didn't even know it. You know, he started the business in my man's office, and I didn't know it. This dude named Lynn. And I got plugged in with him. Now he got me all the plugs with Tubi, just like that.
And that was from the golf course.
From that day. And I knew the nigga for years. I didn't see one of our problems, like as people, we don't say, so what do you do? See, when that was like my biggest learning lesson in business.
Get this on camera, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It is on camera. It is on camera.
You know what I'm saying? That was like my biggest learning lesson was, so what do you do? I got a Jewish brother-in-law, and he would take me out, and I'll be in these settings, and I'll be like, nigga, like, so what you do? And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck, nigga? What you worried about?
Right.
And I would feel offended.
Right.
And it was like, now, when I see why these white people move better in business, it's because they ask, what do you do? They figure out how to work together. We don't want to work together. Like, we always kind of standoffish. So when I was coming through in the beginning, it was like, fuck, I'll do whatever I want. What the fuck you asking me for? You know what I'm saying? That was my response every time.
Right.
And my brother-in-law pulled me to the side. He didn't want to put me on. He's like, they trying to figure out how to do business with you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even thinking in those terms. That's what we missing out on. Our culture, we missing out on, so what do you do? Because then that's how you could figure out, well, I do this, you do that, let's work. Here's a perfect example with Lynn. I knew Lynn for like damn near almost 18 years and didn't know he had the biggest distribution company for Tubi and all of it. Like, you know, you can't just go to Tubi and put your movie on it.
Right.
You gotta have at least 100 titles before they even think about offering you an option to be a distributor for them.
100 titles?
Yeah. Think of that, 100 movies. You gotta have 100 movies to say, yo, can I get some distribution through you?
100?
I promise you.
No, because, bro, like,
find out. Do your research.
I've seen it. It might be different now.
No,
but
it's
I've
not.
seen some Tubi movies. And
no.
Ain't no way them niggas made
so early Tubi, they changed all the rules.
Yeah, I see it's upgraded.
Yeah,
it's
Fox bought it and they made it white.
Yeah.
They trying to fucking make Netflix out of nigga shit.
Yeah, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, leave our nigga shit alone. You know, my partner calls it black exploitation. Let us keep making our black exploitation. It's for us.
Right.
But that's what's really 100. No exaggeration. You gotta have 100 titles in order for them to allow them to get your movies posted through you and your company. So and then they'll tell you, oh, you got a movie? Here, go to this guy. Go to this guy. You know what I'm saying? They got distribution, go to them. But then now they getting a piece of your shit. This is when the business gets ugly.
So with Tubi, what's the draw? Like, what made you say, you know, I'm gonna take my film over
It's
there?
the #1 place for black film.
#1.
Everyone hates or laughs about Tubi like it's cheap. It makes more money than Netflix. See this? Look, see? Go ahead, Google it, check it out.
This is the second time I'm gonna be like, nah, big Tubi?
Tubi is a profitable business. Netflix
Right.
is a losing business. They have 10 million subscribers on Tubi. But because their business model is they not really paying the right price because it's black shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's niggas that figured out to use these cameras and make a fucking film.
Right.
You know, we make, you know, what they say, give you lemons and make
We
lemonade.
make something out of nothing. You know?
Every time.
Every time.
They hate that. I love that. We the most creative people in the world, period. And that's why they want our culture. They don't understand how we could do this shit. If they had to sit in the same savagery shit we had, it might be a whole different world we in. We make something out of nothing, just like you said, so, you know. And
You drop something.
Yeah, no,
Jules!
I said, no, I didn't. But at the end of the day, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then Tubi is the best place for black film. Now, if you don't have Denzel in your film, don't get it fucked up. Like, I hope people don't misunderstand what I'm saying with this shit. Netflix, Hulu, all of them is better. They pay better, everything. But for these independent filmmakers, even such as myself, this is my first film I made by myself.
Right.
We spent probably close to $500,000, which is a lot of money.
$500,000.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me stop you right there. All right. We back. You see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Listen, unless you just know nothing about hip hop, you got to know who this guy is. You have to know who this guy is. Murder Inc. was one of the biggest record labels, broke records, like you name it, all the accolades, they got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I want to extend my condolences. Rest in peace to your brother.
Yes.
Sitting here with Chris Gotti.
He's here.
He's here. He's here.
What up, Irv? I talk to Irv every day.
Every day?
Man. Every day.
Wow.
First thing I do is, you know, a lot of times I'm cursing him because he's not here. You know, he had health issues.
Right.
And for me, that's like you could fix that. You understand?
Right.
You don't have to eat the potato chips, the candy bar. You don't have to eat the Chinese food. You don't have to eat it, bro.
Right.
You don't have to eat it.
I kind of moved it out the way.
Yeah.
He's still pointing at it.
Yeah. You don't have to. You don't have to drink that juice. You don't have to drink that juice. No one's got a hammer to your head like eat it or drink it.
Yeah.
These are personal choices.
Right.
You know, my pops, he had the same problem with diabetes, but he was 86. See, Irv, he wasn't 86. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, bro, you 54. You supposed to be here.
I mean, what were the red flags initially?
I laugh because it's big flag. These ain't little red flags. These are huge red flags, you know? Irv lost his toe. He went to a trip to Saint-Tropez with his family, put on them boat shoes, you know what I'm saying, and just got a cut on his toe. You know, when you're diabetic, you don't stop bleeding. He bleeding for, Irv don't want to go to the doctor. He's bleeding a long time. He come to the house. Me and him pull up at the house at the same time. It's crazy. And he get out of Uber. And I'm like, what's up? And he's limping. I'm like, what's wrong, man? What's going on? He said, oh, man, I cut my toe. I say, what's that smell? The shit was stank as ever. He said, yeah, the Uber driver was complaining the whole way.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, Irv is crazy. Irv is crazy, bro. He's one of one.
Right.
And when he came in the house, my sister, she seen it, and then that's the day she called the doctor or the nurse. We called our nurse come to the house. And she was like, you got to take him to the hospital. He got to get this toe amputated or something. If he don't, it might be his foot. It might be his leg. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? So that's how long, and I'm just giving you the quick version, but that's how long before he even had it addressed. Like, he was soaking it and cleaning it, but he didn't, you know, when you can't look at the bottom of your foot, let someone look at for you. When my sister cleaned it up for him, she's like, I don't know if I could just put a Band-Aid on this. It was down to the bone, like it was bad. And he was like, nah, just wrap that shit up. Irv crazy, yo. He's like, yo, just wrap that shit up. I'm alright, yo. Fuck that. Like,
got my little zombie toe going.
We grew up, we hated, like, again, this is my pops and even my mom, she 91, but, they don't want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So we never.
I mean, you can understand why, bro.
Exactly. Like, well, in their era, I understand why. You see, in their era, you go to the doctor, you're dead. You're not coming home.
Right.
They do anything they usually couldn't do it. That's how old, technology is advanced. Science and medicine is totally different now.
Yeah. I think hospitals, and I don't think people realize this. If you ever lost somebody that was close to you, or a couple of people that's close to you, it usually happens in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us develop like this psychological block for that. I just don't want to be in the hospital. I'm like that.
Yeah,
I'm like that, bro. I'll go 10 years not going to no doctor. I'll go look up everything, read every.
It's funny because
crazy.
I got a holistic doctor now, so it's like everything's all natural. Everything is what it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I really studied that because of my pops. So when he went through it, as a son, that's your hero. Like, that's my pops. Like, I told him I can't watch him kill himself. I said, if you want to kill yourself, I'll go put you somewhere, and then I'll come pick you up when you're dead. But I can't be here with you watching you do this shit. Right. He looked at me and he said, so what do you want me to do? He did everything. He changed his whole lifestyle, everything. And he ended up passing because of cancer,
Yeah. I lost my brother to cancer.
Yeah. But again, he's 86. That's a full life. I sign off right now for 86.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good. Years? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what it is. And, the health is everything. And watching him, his last, let's say, 2.5 years of suffering, it's the reason you want to take care of yourself.
It was going on for that long.
Yeah. He had cancer in his thigh, cancer in his shoulder, cancer in his spine, and the one that got him was cancer in his lung. He beat all of the other ones. He beat it with the lung cancer. And the only reason I look at it in a certain way because they told me, the doctors, me and my sister, they was like, we got this new treatment. It'll suppress the lung cancer so it won't rise up and it'll give him, and that's the shit that caused pneumonia. Really, that's what killed him. You know what I'm saying? It made pneumonia in his lungs, the cancer they had in there. That's what he died.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I got a shout out to my bro Hands. He's fighting stage 4 now.
Wow.
And it's putting the cancer in remission, but now he's having like this bronchital type thing going on. That's crazy.
He has lung cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably gave him the same shit. Be careful. But he might be younger, so my pops was older, so it's hard. You know what I'm saying? The older you are, the body is not as what it was. He was a shell of himself, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I studied all of that shit because of him. Like, all the things got really heavy into it. I'm damn near a doctor without being a doctor now, you know what I'm saying?
That's how I, like, you come to my crib, you say something, I got a vitamin, a supplement, something for it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But
you know, when you ask about Irv with his sign, like a sign, pissing, and like, that's you typically, you don't die from diabetes. You die because of the complications of diabetes. It breaks down the other organs, and usually that pissing, the craving of the sugar. Irv was craving the sugar. He would crave it, man. It was crazy. Crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, wake up and he needs apple juice or orange juice. That's sugar. That's nothing but sugar. And it was just crazy.
I wondered, because I think part of the tragedy for me when I found out that he passed, one, not being petty or nothing like that, I was looking forward to that interview.
He was looking forward to doing it. We spoke before and I was telling you, like, he called me right away. What's up with Matt? He get in tune through me, really, when he outside with something.
Right.
And I was like, yo, they got the hottest shit right now. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, I'm going on there. I can't wait. Like, he was excited to come up there because he ain't been out in that circle, in that set.
Right.
You was going to be really one of the first. He only did Nori because Nori family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But really, he wasn't in that circle, like going out, and you was the one to break the mold for him, and he was excited about that.
So that, and, you know, I heard the news, sold the catalog, being able to take care of your family, knowing that, you know, everybody's set, and not being able to live to see it.
That's part of me cursing him out in the morning. You know, again, Irv is my little bro. I raised Irv, so when you get to it, it's like we had so many things we spoke about, things we wanted to get done that now he can't do it. And I'm like, do I do it? I got to keep it going when you got me out here by myself, you know?
Right.
But yeah, you know, look, everyone wants money, take care of their family and everything. He did it. He did it at the highest level, you know? And he wasn't done. It's like he had so much more to go, and it's like he just couldn't stop or get out of that. That's how bad sugar is, man.
Wow.
That craving.
For sugar.
I've seen junkies. I don't know if sugar is just as bad or worse. It's got to be worse to me. Because the reason it's worse is no one stops you from doing it.
And you can get it anywhere.
Yeah, if you over here pumping niggas, someone's gonna come smack that shit out of you.
Right.
You eating and no one's stopping you from eating. So it's a difference. It's crazy.
Wow.
You know. But yeah, we good, man. It's one day at a time now. It's like first my pops, now him. You know, it's a lot. For me personally, like that's a lot. I just keep quiet with myself, but I got a good infrastructure that keeps me balanced. Support, yeah.
When you go through those two losses, like what's keeping you like, all right, I got this.
Faith. Number one, you know, I'm gonna see them again, knowing they're here. You know what I'm saying? No, I know they're here. Like, things happen now. It's like, and I'm like, okay, I see you playing around with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I know they with me. That goes into my faith, which is Ifa. You know,
right.
And Ifa is about your ancestors, so the ones that passed on already.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
And
shout out De Niro, that's my Babalao and Padrino, and they opened me up spiritually to a different like realm, way of thinking and looking at life. And I mean, it helped me out so much in so many ways. And Ifa told me who my grandfather was. How about that?
how?
Man, my dad was sick, and I did a reading with him, and they telling me go talk to him. Cruise, and I'm like, I know my grandfather. He died before I was like maybe 1 or something. So I don't know him. I just seen pictures of him, and I only know him as Pop or Antonio. So Pop or Antonio, and they keep telling me Cruz. He said, ask your father, who is this? They didn't know who it is. He's coming, he's talking to them, and he's there to protect my pops. And he's like, so I go there. When I said it to him, I'll never forget the way he looked at me. Like, I said, yo, who's Cruz? He just stopped and just looked. He's in the hospital bed. He looked at me. He said, that's your grandfather. What the fuck are you talking about? I said, wow, because I was fucked up. He said, why'd you say that? And I was like, he's here with you. He said, I know, I feel him. He's like, he starts crying. I ain't never seen my pops cry. He's crying like, because he said he feels his father there, and I brought this shit up. It's crazy the shit they said. I don't want to get deep on this shit right here, but there's so much things that Ifa has showed me and done for me. But imagine that. I didn't know his name is Antonio Cruz Lorenzo. Our last name is Lorenzo. Gotti's a nickname. And my mother's black. My father's Trinidadian and Filipino. And I guess that's the Spanish like last name. I think Lorenzo's like a Spanish last name. But you go over to the Philippines, it's nothing but Lorenzo's over there. It's crazy.
That's nuts. So, I mean, you go through something like that,
Yeah.
you're locked in after that.
Well, I like to say I'm from Missouri. You got to show it to me, right? You got to show
exactly.
me
If you seeing that.
So I was on my tours with Adventure Music with De Niro, and he's a Babalao, which is a high priest in Ifa. And I asked him about his beads. Like I got some on right now. That's Shango. You know what I'm saying? I'm Shango. So at the end of the day, I'm asking about him. And again, you can't just tell me and I'm running to it. I'm not that dude.
Right. You gotta show me something.
But he was just talking to me. I'll give you another crazy day. We in Atlanta on the tour, and we get out the car and his bees pop.
What tour?
I do an Adventure Music tour for independent artists.
Okay.
And I do all these cities, city to city to city, crazy. And his bees pop. We pulled up at my man's studio. And we get out the car, his bees pop. He said, don't move. He's like this, don't move. I'm like looking at him like, this before I'm in. This is just, he's like, don't move. And he sees it and his shit's come out. He grabbed the ones that broke. He said something and threw them out. He said, we can't go in there. I said, why not? He said, there's something wrong in there. That's why my shit just popped. I'm thinking, yeah, okay. 2 niggas got killed in the studio.
That night.
That day, right there. The cops came right after that. We was bugging out. And he's like, I told you. And it's just weird, yo. I got goosebumps telling the story, I promise you. You could ask Rich Black, you know what I'm saying? That's whose studio it was. That's my man.
How okay, so what's the time
Well,
period
one guy
got
ended up dying, the other guy got shot. So
they were already shot when you got there?
Yes. Wow. In the studio already. Not happening afterwards, before we got there.
Wow.
And he was like, he's just looking at me like, I told you we couldn't go in there. I was like, oh man, this shit's crazy. I mean, there's so many things that it has done, like while I was with him, that made me curious, let's say, and made me do my own research into it. And again, every religion's inside of it. It's the oldest religion, over 10,000 years, from Nigeria. He's Cuban. It's from Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? The religion's from Nigeria, and it's just crazy because it really showed me so many different things. And crazy.
That's nuts.
It is.
Beads popping.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been around people, and my bracelet popped.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but
Yeah.
I haven't been like nobody.
It's
really
energy.
sat down with
Everything is energy. We're in the fucking matrix. It's a binary code. Everything is crazy. Down the back of his spine is his binary code. Like if you think of a computer, they write 0110001. That's how they write code. In a computer, it's the same thing. He has that down the back of his spine, his binary code for him, or what he calls his signal.
Signal.
Yeah.
That's funny. Because recently I saw Russians created a way to identify the code of your soul.
Yeah.
There's some deep stuff that's
It's
going on out there. I don't know if y'all follow any of this stuff. Y'all might just be like, where's the hip hop? Yeah. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are they talking about right now?
We just talking right now.
We just talking. Oh man. But yeah, okay. After Irv's passing.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I want to rewind before that. Murder Inc. At its height.
Wow.
What was your role?
Well, it's funny because we had all business cards. It didn't say like CEO and president. Irv was the boss. I was the underboss. We made it just like a crime family.
Right.
A lieutenant, capo, whatever position of the marketing. He was a lieutenant for this. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It's just all marketing. Irv is
Right.
marketing. He's just thinking marketing. And the shit was fly, but yeah, underboss. I was the second to Irv, that's it. And I ran all the business. I hired everybody. Man, I found pretty much all the producers because I would hear them and then I give them to Irv because I know what he do with them. You know, even like someone like the artist, like let's say Ashanti. When I always tell the story because it's crazy because Irv would hit me with the, like, nigga, I'm focused. Stop talking about this other shit. I'm over here with Ja. This is where we get our money.
Right.
And this before we popped it off, and he didn't even sign her yet. And I kept giving her beats and like, yeah, Irv heard it. Yeah, he liked it. He ain't hear nothing. Like, yeah. She's like, did he hear it? I'm like, yeah. I bring her in the office. It'd be her mother, and she had her other co-manager, Linda, there. And they be sitting there waiting just to talk to Irv. You know?
Right.
I'm telling you, this is the heyday. This is the beginning, because once we pop her off, we on top of everything.
Top of the world.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard Murdergram. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
This ain't Bleak.
Yeah.
Who's doing this shit?
You know, Irv has visions, man. This dude is like, he had so many ideas. That's why when I say I curse him, because he got so many ideas that we didn't get to, that is like golden. He was the goose that laid the golden egg, man. This is why every hood nigga tried to get to Irv.
That's a fact.
Listen to me. Everyone.
That's a fact.
Everywhere, not just New York. I'm not talking about just here. Everyone. They wanted a piece. And my job was to keep everyone away from Irv. We used to call Irv the Great Kazoo. I don't know if you watched the Flintstones.
Yeah.
That's the little green Martian.
Green guy with the...
Who could see Kazoo? Fred and Barney. That's it. I'm Fred and my niggas is Barney. That's it.
That's it.
No one else could get to talk to him because I didn't want him to disrupt what he's doing. You know, I noticed Irv at a young age, that nigga was different. You know, I never would let him, I would do shit in the street and wouldn't tell Irv. I would never want him, because he followed me. Whatever I did, he did it. So I would never want my little brother to do something bad. You know
I remember hearing a couple stories that Irv was so much into the music and wanted to stay away from certain things.
Well, Irv wanted, Irv, as he got older, once he got older, he wanted to get active, but that's not it. So again, it's my job to keep him kind of focused. I probably lost control of my brother when he turned like 36. He was just he was too successful. Right. You couldn't tell him nothing no more. I had to send message through other people to get him to listen. Wow. You know, in the beginning, if I said go left, he went left. I go right, he went right. But once he got popping in our heyday, he thought he was the alpha and omega.
He believed in himself.
Yeah.
What was it? What would y'all argue about though?
We never argued. That's the craziest shit, I promise you. Me and my brother never fought until the trial. How crazy is that? We never fought. Like, I never looked at my little brother and said, I'm gonna beat you up. Never. We used to look at like a Laverne and Shirley TV show, and it was the Malachi brothers. If the left one don't get you, the right one will. That's me and Irv. Right. So at the end of the day, it was always like that. It was never no disagreeing. And when you think of music or business, I always took the back seat and said, it's your shit. Now, I didn't have to do that, but that's the right thing. That's his shit. Right. Like, I'm telling you, I helped find all these producers and do all these things, but I never looked at it like that's my shit. See, that's why family and friends is so hard to work with, because if you don't have that mindset, you thinking that's mine. Nah, they got me listed as co-founder. I always was like, it's Irv shit. You know what I'm saying? When we got our label deal, we didn't have a name. That's how you know it's not really his shit like that only without, and that's because he didn't have a name. If you starting this business up, you know exactly what you want to call it. You know, Faded Brooklyn, you heard? Right. You know exactly what you call it. I'm going to go start a shop.
Shout out to Faded. We in Faded Barbershop right now, you heard?
But you understand what I'm saying?
That's the plug right there, baby.
But you understand? I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Right. But you understand? You start, you take it, you want to start a barbershop, you like, I got the name, it's going to be Faded Brooklyn, I'm going to set it up with these chairs. Right. We get Murder Inc. We didn't know we getting Murder Inc. Irv wanted to be the #1 producer in the world, and I made him the #1 producer in the world by getting all these producers that now he took, cultivated, and made all these hits.
Now, when you say producer, because I think people get it twisted, because there's beat makers, and there's producers. Yeah. What's the difference?
Oh man, it's huge. You don't have to make a beat to be a producer. See, that's the reality. I could have gave every one of those guys a Ja Rule and a Shanti, and we would have never had, with the same beat, and we would have never got the record we got. You understand what I'm saying? Now, maybe they would have made a hit. Who knows? We know what made hits. And that's the reality. That's the difference. You know, Diddy, Dr. Dre, they didn't all make all their beats. You know?
Right.
You understand? There's a difference. Swiss Beats, making them all. Different. Right? But there's guys that understand how to tell those artists how to get in those beats. And the real beauty to me, again, man, when making music, I got some incredible stories, like some records, right? But Holla Holla, I'll use that. First hit. We didn't have the single because Jay took Can I Get Her? That was Ja's first single, but Irv gave it to Jay.
How did that? I've heard that a couple times, but what was it? Was it like, yo, this is Jay-Z?
Nah, it was Jay came and walked by the office, heard the beat, stands outside the door, starts rapping, comes back in the office, yo, what's up with that beat? And then Irv's like, this is Ja's first single. We in a little ass room at this time, like sharing it with Chris Gotti and Irv. Myself is sitting there and he's like, yo, he's like, this is Ja's first single. Irv's like, I can't, you know what I'm saying, Jay, you could get on it. You could get on it. And Jay's like, all right, cool. Goes back outside. Stands at the door. We thought he left. He's standing there though. Comes back in. Yo, I need that beat. He said, I'm gonna put it on the soundtrack. He told us everything he's gonna do. I forgot what movie that was. Is it Blue Street? It's one of them. I can't remember. I'm bad with names and titles.
Was it Rush? Was it Rush?
It could have been Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
I think it's Rush Hour 1, the
Hour.
first one.
Right.
And Jay, he was like, I'll get him a bag. And he said, and I'll give him a record in return for that. So Irv was like, I gotta talk to Ja. Rule's like, fuck it, give it to him. Rule never, no pressure. Rule's gotta be the best nigga in the world, man. I'm telling you. The shit he went through, everything, and how he handled and dealt with it. Shout out Ja Rule, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ja.
Every time I think about that man, if someone walked in his shoes, they couldn't do it. And he dealt with it with class, in my opinion. He did it the best way he could have did it. But here, his first single was Jay. What? We make another one. Irv was like, oh, bet. Calls Jay up, gives it to him. But now we don't have a single all this time. It's not easy to come up with them first singles.
Right.
I find this producer named Fingers, right? Or beat maker, let's call him.
Beat maker.
Got that beat. If you remember that beat, it was different. I call Irv, yo, I got it. He's like, where you at? Irv's at Electric Lady Studios, him and Ja. I said, I'm on my way. I get over there. This is one of the best producing stories and Baby with Ashanti to prove what a producer is when you ask that. These are my two favorite stories and it takes the artist to listen. I don't know if these artists today listen. They think they do. They one take Jake and they think it's perfect. But when you're trying to make a certain type of hit, you might have a few flaws in certain bars and stuff. So he plays the beat, Ja go crazy. Irv says, go and write he said, do this one this way. Write the hook first. Don't write the bar verses. Because sometimes you make the hook, it varies. Write just the hook. He come out, I got it. We playing cards, we playing Tom. Me and him, we sitting there playing Tom. In the studio.
Yeah.
Ja said, Irv, listen, that's not it. We back to talk, he come out again. That's not it. Now, if the artists don't listen, like, nigga, that's it, yo.
That's it, right.
We never have that hit record. You understand what I'm saying? That's the producer's job. And it has to have the trust. That's why Dr. Dre, the names I mentioned, no one's questioning Dr. Dre. No one was questioning Diddy. You know what I'm saying? No one was questioning Irv. They let him produce, and that's what it takes to be a producer. If you don't have that, you just sent the files and the nigga did what he wanted. You made the beat, but that's as far as it go. And the same was with Baby. When he made that, let me go back to Ja. When he made that hook, he says, I'm gonna double it up. He's like, I'm gonna holla. He didn't have the whole thing. The room went crazy because it's more than me and Irv.
So he went back, he came back.
Third time.
And
got the holla. I'm doubling it up with the bars, with the way the beat goes.
Yeah.
After he wrote the hook, the song was made in like 5 minutes. It was like already written. It was crazy. So with Ashanti, Baby, we jacked that from Scarface. I wish we had the camera for this one.
You jacked it from Scarface.
Scarface had a Mary.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's talking about getting high.
Yeah.
And he's addicted to that.
Right.
the drug. And Irv's like, flip that shit. You addicted to a dude. And then when she's singing it, Ashanti sings pitch perfect. People don't know this either. The girl could sing. Right. Pitch perfect. We didn't want her to sing. Irv is mixtape Irv. He's DJ Irv. He making mixtapes. Right. Think about what I'm saying and go listen and you're going to understand. The mixtapes, Irv used to blend hip hop with R&B songs and sell mad mixtapes. So he's mixtape Irv and he's doing it with Ashanti and he's like, no, you can't sing it like that. Because he's like, niggas ain't gonna sing it like that. Right. He said, I need you to sing it where we gonna wanna fucking sing it. Right. And he goes in the booth. This is the part I wish. And he's singing it. Like, you gotta sing it like this. You gotta be strung out on this nigga. You gotta, and he's singing it. Yeah. And she's like, that's stupid. It sounds crazy. He said, just do it. And she did it. Again, without the belief. Right. Without the belief. I'm telling you, that's the best. If I wish I had that on tape, wow. I promise you. Because that was the best, for me, showing of a producer and an artist. Because you got to give the artist the credit, too, for following the order. Right. And believing. Because if they don't believe in the producer, they're going to be like, no, I'm singing like
I'm
this.
I'm going to do it like this.
Yes.
We thank you for the beat. See you later.
Yeah, heard you.
Right. Right. Wow.
But she did it, and you know, the rest is history. So when you get into that, it's crazy for me, for beat makers and producers, and you know, you always get that kind of conflict. But Irv he had an ear for this shit. It's different.
Now, Irv was involved with DMX's career.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But Ja and Ashanti, that was his.
That was his.
Is it tough knowing that they didn't like find some sort of comfortable zone?
Yeah. Yeah. For me personally, for me personally, it was like, damn, man, you created all this greatness. You know, think of Ashanti's career. Like she was on multiple deals before she got to Murder Inc. with no success. Mm. You understand what I'm saying? You know how rare that is in the history of music? Right. That you get a deal from this label, and nothing comes out of it, but then you pop off the way you do.
Out of here.
When you get, come on, it's all, if anyone made music, it's all chemistry. Mm. And again, they had amazing chemistry when they was good. Probably even sometimes when they was bad.
But got a different kind of song out of it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, is for me personally, it's like, man, I wish I wish they could have got it right, man. You know, I never said it. I'll say it right now. It was sad when she got her Walk of Fame and she don't have Irv there. Mm. That's to me like or media like that's to me was sad. It was like, damn, you know, because all the music you in for is we did it. Right. And it was, again, I understand, I overstand. Shout out to Shanti. Look, I said.
You know what people say.
That's Bon. Me and Bon is cool.
Right.
At the end of the day, yes. And I was always the go-between between her and Irv. Mm. What she don't know is Irv was always mad at me because I never took his side. And I wouldn't do that. I said, nah, this is a relationship. Hey, let me ask you, what's your ex look like? Because she gonna talk good about you or what? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, depending on what day it is.
That's what the public don't ever talk
you know
about.
What I'm saying?
But let me go talk to your ex.
Depending on what day it is,
you know what I'm saying? Let me go talk to your. Let me go talk to your ex and see how good you left it off, right? Or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, they had with all that success inside of that. Right. That's combustion.
Do you think that was just pain? Like he was just hurt?
Of course. Of course. It's hard to say the things, it's sad, but it's hard to say all of it because no one will ever believe it at this point. But if you really just listen, you hear it. Irv really loved that girl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though he was doing all types of other things while he was with her. And that's what I would tell him. Like, nigga, you tell me this, but this is how you acting. Right. She finding all types of shit and like, okay, nigga, stop. If that's what it is. Right. You know, niggas want their cake and eat it too.
Was there anyone that you felt like should have been to the funeral that wasn't there?
Yeah, her. You know, she sent flowers. I don't want to really get into that part because it was That to me is hard to accept. I made you. Why would I play you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I laugh at it because you can't get your ego inside of things. He can't justify nothing no more. He can't say nothing no more.
Right.
You have nothing to fear no more. He's not here. That's why you do it. You know,
Right.
that history, that what has been done is iconic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She's still in the history books for the #1 biggest female artist, first week number. And with the internet now, who knows if it'll ever go back? So that record seems pretty safe.
Right. Yeah.
No one
Crazy.
sells records no more. It's all downloads and everything. So that
Download,
record seems pretty safe.
Accidental plays.
You know what I mean? But it's sad because it's like, damn, man, with all that great, and like I said, I would talk to her and talk to him and talk. Like, I'll give you one crazy day. Irv tells me, yo, go talk to us. Let her know I ain't never gonna say nothing bad. I'll help her make movies, whatever. Let's be cool again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I said, all right. I called her up. Mom, what's good? What's going on? She called me Sickly. Sickly, what's up? I said, listen, I just finished talking to Irv. He wanted me to send you a message. Oh, God, what? I said, listen, it's a good message, or else I wouldn't even called you with it.
Right.
I said, he wants y'all to be cool again. No beefing, no nothing. Everything good. And he promised me, he's like, anything you need, he'll help you. You want to make records, you want to, a movie. He told me everything. And she's like, listen, I'll think about it. She says that to me. She didn't say yes, no, like, oh, good.
Yeah,
she said, I'll think about it. I said, that's all I could ask from you.
Right.
And she said, all right, you good? You good. We get off the phone. Literally, less than a week, the drink champs. Yo, come out.
No, God.
I go to Irv and say, why the fuck did you send me to go talk to her? She called me up. Yo, afterwards she called me up. He said, don't ever fucking ask me. I said, Sean, I apologize. I was like, what can I say? I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know. And the crazy part, can I tell you the even crazier part? Nori's recording.
Right.
Which means you told me and you knew that's coming. Yo.
That's why I'm laughing.
No, this shit is crazy, yo. I said, why did you do that? But maybe, I don't know, maybe he wanted me and her to be on bad terms. You know what I'm saying?
It's diabolical.
Diabolical. I can't figure it out, man. That one was crazy to me. You know, and again,
shit.
I never understood it. To this day, I never understood that play. Because he was dead serious. See, I know when he's serious.
Right.
But he might have forgot, maybe, I don't know. But how do you forget? And you send me, I don't think you forgot.
I don't think he forgot.
Maybe in his mind,
catch you off guard.
Maybe in his mind, he's thinking, I'm not saying nothing crazy. So when you go listen to it,
Right.
he's saying how much he's professing his love, honestly, when you listen to it.
That's,
So in his mind, as crazy as his mind works, he might have been thinking that's what it is. Because I can't foresee him trying to line me up like that.
right.
He don't play with me that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why I was like, to this day, I never understood it. Except for maybe it was in his mind like he didn't do nothing crazy on that show. No, you was fucking crazy on that show, nigga.
But you know Nori's show, and a shout out to Nori.
Shout out Nori, yo.
When you do his show,
Juicy Juice.
when you do his show, you gotta be careful. So if you indulge, I've done it. I've been on Drink Champs 3 times.
Yeah.
And 2 of the 3 times, the next morning, I got
it?
up and I was like, well, what did I say last night?
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, the concept of Drink Champs is crazy. You know,
It is.
It's a dope concept.
Oh yeah, it's cold.
It's like, come on. The truth serum. Drink up. Now let's talk. Now let's talk, nigga. Like,
Yo.
drink up. Now let's talk.
Yo, Nori will line you up, bro. Like, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I'm bringing in stunt drinker for me. I don't drink. Someone's gonna be my double drinking the
Camera
shots.
coming away. Some dude with no beard in the same clothes, just taking shots. Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
man, crazy shit.
Crazy
man.
shit, man. Crazy shit.
But the heyday, you asked about heyday. That's the heyday. He thought everything is nothing couldn't get done. He could have walked a giraffe into the office with Leo and got him signed. It was that easy. Wow. But Irv was very particular in what he put his name next to, and that's what caused a lot of trouble with the street. Because dudes they think they just do it, but they don't realize that you don't want to sacrifice your reputation and name just because a nigga's good. So it was a lot of no's. We helped a ton. We helped a ton of people. But it was a lot of no's.
How did it feel? Did you guys feel like there was a lack of support
from
when you was fighting the Fed case?
We found that out in the middle, almost at the end of the case, that they cooperated against us. Universal. So you thinking you got a partner, they are a partner. We found out 1,000% in the middle of our trial when they made us sign, because they wasn't paying us, and we couldn't understand how come we not getting our money, and that shit's expensive. We spent M's on that trial.
Right.
My lawyer was over 3.5. Irv's lawyer was over 3.5. Remember the trial started in 2002. They raided our office. It ends in 2005. It's 3 years, but the trial only lasted a short time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you had to pay all that time in between.
That whole time.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you could see the ploy.
Collectively, how much money you think that you guys
I know
spent?
how much I spent. That's my job. I'm the money guy. I'm the one that took care of all the bills. Every check was signed by me. Every check, except my checks. I would make Irv sign my check, so he could never say I took something that wasn't mine. But every check was signed by me. So yeah, we spent over $14 million.
$14 million.
Yeah. And we pay for everyone's attorneys. They always talk shit about, with let's say Preem. We was paying for Preem's attorney. The Fed, the lawyer, the judge said we can't pay. They wouldn't let us pay.
Why?
Because they didn't want us helping them. Again, they break all rules when they want to break all rules. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what are you going to do? I'm in the fight for my life, and what are you going to do? But we started out paying his. Shout out Robert Simmons. That was one of his attorneys. And again, they wouldn't let us keep paying. But we paid for everyone that was involved. Like Dex Diamond, that was with my street team. He got in his office, there was a gun. He got picked up. We paid for his. I got him out on $1 million bail. You know what I'm saying? Our accountant, Ron Robinson, Jive's manager, got in trouble. And our accountant, Cynthia Carr. Shout out Cynthia. And the reason I say shout out Cynthia, she was pregnant. She had a hard time getting pregnant. And she just got pregnant. She's probably about 4 or 5 months. And they putting all this pressure on this lady, white lady. Putting all this pressure. She could have easily went in there and said, look, what do you want to know? I'll give you something. Just leave me the fuck alone. I would put money at most people in her position would have did that, made up all. She said, no, I ain't never see this. I ain't see that. And I'm not going to say anything. And she didn't. But we was paying her lawyer. They made her stop paying her lawyer. We thought she was cooperating. That's a fact. Wow. And we thought she was cooperating because we was like, we can't talk to her no more. Our lawyers was like, she's telling.
But she wasn't.
She did not. She ended up being the only person in our trial that got time. She got house arrest for 9 months. She did what they call structuring. You know what structuring is?
No.
If you got money, you go to the bank. If it's over 10,000, you have to report it. Say it's 30,000 in that case, that's what it was, or 29,000, or 27,000. She did 9,000 one day, the next day 9,000, and the next day 9,000. And they charged her with structuring and got her, and she had to do like 5 years on house arrest for structuring. That's crazy, right? That's how far they was going to try and get their case.
That's a little petty.
Super.
That's petty. Super petty.
Super petty. And that's because we gambled. So she helped because we was gambling big. I'm not talking little. Like they had me gambling 1.8 million a week. They had my gambling book, so they had all of it. And it wasn't just me, it was me, Irv, and Job. We all betting big. We betting hundreds of thousands on basketball games, football games, everything. Shut down some bookies, you know what I'm saying? So we was really making money, but when we won, we would give it to Cynthia. Or if Job came off tour, we'd give her a bag of cash, like duffel bags, literally of money. And she got to go deposit it. But for this one instant, she didn't feel like filling out the paperwork, and they went back and caught it, 999, and charged her with it. And it's crazy. It's like, damn. You know. But shout out Cynthia. She did her thing with us. And because, again, if she says anything, there's no way I'm sitting here.
Right. Right.
You know, if she says anything, it's over.
Yeah, you guys did something that, with the exception of maybe Young Thug.
Shout out Young Thug.
Shout out Young Thug.
He wasn't feds, though. He stayed.
Yeah, he was state. That's right.
But still, shout out Young Thug. He held his head. He did his thing, man. That was a beautiful thing to watch. And he deserves everything. All the flowers, all the success, everything.
Right. Now, I got to ask, being that you guys went up against the feds and won.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Diddy's chances and what's going on right now?
Diddy, in my opinion, first of all, he should have never been held without bail. That to me is disgusting. He's not a flight risk. If he had murders or real kidnappings, I didn't hear none of that shit. I stopped actually listening to the trial because it got stupid to me. It was like, we still talking sex. And I know they want to say sex trafficking. We're talking about men that was paid to have sex with his wife or girlfriend at the time.
Right.
And as adults, okay, what's the problem? See, they changed the law on sex trafficking. It used to be 20 or more. 20 or more. See, and this is when I get into my shit with like how they doing it against us, because every fucking rock group did it. There's not one that could say they didn't travel a girl or multiple ones and did some shit.
Right.
But they picking a hip hop nigga. You know what I'm saying? They could have. There's so many other people that could have been picked. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why? And then you don't let him out on bail so he could fight from outside to fight the case. He's not going nowhere. The case is bullshit already. Right. I think the judge said that in the trial. The judge was like, what is this? Is this the best she got? Like, come on.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And again, she's saying she had consensual, yes, and it was times it was this, but she says she's always with the freak off. Like, that's her words. No one put that in there. I know the girl too. I know Casey. Like, it's fucking crazy. You know, we hear the backstories with Diageo might have been behind a lot of this, and that makes you think, like, damn, how powerful are these people? You know what I'm saying? Right. That they could put Diddy. What chances me and you got if that happened, right? That's how I look at it.
Right.
Like, fuck, they could do that to that man. There has to be more to this that we don't know, and I like I said, I stopped listening because it was stupid. I don't need to hear about
when it don't make sense from the outside.
Yeah.
There's something going on that you can't see.
Yeah, it's got to be more to it that we don't know about
because
it doesn't
Rico
make sense.
And all.
And then everyone said he broke the law, you know, because that's illegal. If I'm the judge, I'd tell him, yeah, it's illegal, and I would say he has time served. Right? In all fairness, like the severity of the illegal act of what we're talking about, if that's all we have that's been submitted and put in front of the jurors, and the judge was convict them on that shit, or jurors convict them on that shit, I let him. The judge has the autonomy to say, okay, he has time served, he's good. Like now, you know, him beating her, that's a domestic case. That's not a Fed case.
Right.
He shouldn't be in that godforsaken place.
Right.
Dealing with them fucking folks in there. I don't wish that on nobody.
I think
He's not far from here, right?
yeah, right downtown.
Yeah, he's right over here.
Right
Yeah,
downtown.
I used to go see.
Yeah.
I used to go see Preem there.
Yeah.
When Preem was in there, I used to go visit him in there. But it's crazy. I don't know. That shit is walking in the courtrooms. You get that feeling. It's not of anything good. Nothing nice. Get away from that shit. You know. And I'm not condoning anything he did. I'm just saying, but sexual behavior is not a crime. With all this gay shit going on and shit, are you kidding me? You shitting me?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, yo.
That shit is crazy.
I know you don't want me to talk about it, but I don't know how to say it other way. Like, it is what it's a choice, is all it is.
Right.
I'm not condoning, I'm not saying, but it's a choice. He made a choice. He wanted to have baby
That's
What's
how
the
he wanted
difference?
to live.
When a gay dude makes a choice to have sex with another dude or whatever, that's their choice and they have their right. Why wouldn't he have his right? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo,
if
that's their
his
choice.
kink, like, how you
Come
trying
on,
to turn
man.
that into a criminal organization?
Yeah, to RICO this man. Like, damn.
That's wild, man.
This is,
It's wild.
come on, them judges.
Shit, wild.
Shit, the lawyers and judges, they doing shit. Like, come on, fuck out of here, yo.
Shit crazy.
You can't
Well-
silence me.
I feel like I'm gonna get a conversation out there.
Nah, don't worry about it. I'm just saying, I know what I'm saying. And like, I'm not down in no groups or nothing, but if that's what he enjoyed and she is cool with it,
They're
they're cool with it, and then, okay, he paid the dude. Come on, man.
Yeah,
He paid the dude to do that to him. You think he was mad? Let me ask that question. Was he upset? Like, I got to do this dirty work? It's Cassie, yo. Like, the one that should be upset is her husband. Like, goddamn, I had to hear this shit?
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck.
yo, I got my theories on certain shit, but you know, we'll see. I hope everybody
Yeah.
works their shit out.
I do. I hope
Figure
it
it
all
out.
works out for the best. She got her money, whatever. Cool. All right, you got it. You didn't like all of it. You got overpaid for that shit.
Right.
Because you're dealing with a billionaire. Cool. But he should not be rotting in jail or nothing
Over
like
this.
that. Nah, come on.
Do you believe in something called what is it? Humiliation ritual?
In what sense? Like what they doing to him?
Yeah.
You know, that goes back to the slave days, and that's what they would say they did to the big black slave dude, and like put him in front of everybody.
Break them, buck breaking.
Buck breaking, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. There's a part of it absolutely in there. So, but then it goes to who's the person that's saying do this to him. Is it Diageo or is it someone else? Who you understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Who's the one that said let's do this? He went too far.
Right.
He's gone too far. Nah, I'm not gonna say. When I heard the things I heard is like, come on, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's. I'm sure there's people on the other side that did far worse. Some
People
real,
sitting in that
what
courtroom.
did Pope Fiction, what he say is get some real medieval.
He gonna get real medieval on his ass.
I'm sure there's some real medieval
Medieval shit going
that
on.
takes place that far worse than that. Just some letting another dude.
Look, I
bang
don't.
out.
I can't put. I'm not putting no allegations on nobody or anything, but I feel like once you reach any level of extremity, there's a pan. You know what I'm saying? And some people reach a level where everything is an option, and you can get lost in that.
Yeah.
Just
The
got
red pill or the blue pill, man.
red pill or the blue pill.
Come on.
Blood
Blood or cuz.
What we living in? What we doing? You know what I mean? It's
Where you
crazy.
going with it? You
Life's
gotta
a
figure
movie,
it out.
man. It's a
No,
movie.
that's a fact. And then you see in the industry, you've seen a lot of people that get lost inside of that. that choosing these different paths, trying to be next to the cool guy that might be into some different shit.
Right.
You know, you got to make your choice. It all comes back down to how you was raised. In the words of my man T.K. Kirkland, who raised you, man? You know what I'm saying? It comes right down to that because that's really, you know, it's just the facts that most people wasn't really raised properly, you know?
Right.
That's the facts, like even from parents or from the street. So their morals and their moral compass is off.
The shadows.
Yeah.
We could really dive into that topic, but I said life is a movie.
And let's get into some good shit.
So let's get into the movie. Let's get into the movie.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Bowling!
Yeah.
And Jim Jones hit you up about that? Like, dude, what you did, man? You
Nah,
made my
you know,
shit.
we tried to license that song originally, but it's, you know, they didn't want to let it go for a fair price, in my opinion.
Wow. When you say they.
Yeah, it's I believe, I don't want to say wrong. I believe it's the guy from Couch. What's his name? I can't remember his name right now. It'll come to me while we talking with Jim. They both have rights, like part and part.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I reached out to him immediately because when I first heard the title, and that's what my man Rich Black, he wrote it. That's my partner, and he was like, balling. I said, oh, we got to go get this record. It's about a basketball player. It fits.
now you got Lance Stevenson
Yeah.
in the movie. He's playing the NBA star.
He's playing basically he's the best player in the NBA, in the league, that, you know, technically. Jalen King.
Jalen King.
Yeah.
Now Lance, bruh, Lance has been on fire.
Yeah. He was supposed to be here
The
today.
past couple of weeks. Listen, whenever he get out here,
Yeah.
send him through.
Yeah.
Bruh.
He's working though. He's definitely in the gym. He's doing a lot of stuff right now. But I'll get him back out here.
Right now he's in the 3-on-3, the big three.
Yep. Shout out Ice Cube with that league.
Yeah. Shout out Ice Cube. Definitely.
You know, I got my own league too. That's why, you know, we got to support each other. So I got a basketball league called Clash Pro League.
Clash Pro.
Yeah. It's right here in Harlem, 119th in Manhattan Ave. And we going up. And second season's coming right now in October. We'll be starting. Actually, in September, we do a combine first, and then the season starts in October.
How does somebody get into your league?
Get in the combine. If you ain't getting to the combine, if all of the coaches don't get to see you and know you're actually available, it's actually called the Lance Stevenson rule. I made this because Lance was supposed to play last year, but he only wanted to play for one coach, Ra. And I was like, Ra, I can't let that happen. Why not? I said, because the other coaches will pick them if they're in front. It's a draft.
Right.
They'll pick Lance. They're not going to, no, but he's going to play for me. I said, I can't do that in spirit of just being fair.
Right.
You can't do that. So everyone that wants to participate has to be inside of the combine or on the draft board. Okay. So all coaches know they're up for, being drafted.
How does someone reach
Oh,
out
Clash,
to represent?
go right to the Clash app, Clash Basketball. Go to Clash Basketball on Instagram and DM that. You get right in. We'll respond right back to you about whatever questions you asking. But if you really a hooper, this is not no play. Mm-hmm. These are all professionals. They played overseas, NCAA, D1 players, might have played in the league, came back down. These are all D1 players that's sitting here in New York with nowhere to go. Wow. So, yeah, it's real.
It's real. Where do you see that going? There's a big three. It took some time.
Big Three still got time to go. They still got more to go, but they did sell like 2 or 3 teams, I think. So that's a big deal. I'm using a different approach. I'm using influencers for my team owners to market and promote. And but where do I see it going? We're gonna do New York. Then I'm gonna go to Baltimore. I'm going to Chicago, Atlanta, leagues, not teams. So each league will be in each state.
In each state. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with is a plethora of basketball players. You know what I'm saying? You think about the college game and how many players come through college that don't get a job. That's nice, right? That could ball.
What do they do?
Exactly. And if
you see a 7-foot nigga walking down the street,
yeah,
looking angry.
Yeah, there you have it. come get a job.
You know what I'm saying?
CPL.
Come get a job. Word.
Yeah. But you
And-
know,
and
and
I-
then
you
I
know-
got rid of agents. That's something else that's very important.
Right.
My business with agents, I got rid of them because agents kind of block you. If you don't have the right agent, they don't get you opportunities. Now it's on you. Solicit the coaches. Just DM them, call them, get a number on them, try and find them. They out and about right now, all the street ball. You see, I got my Dykeman shit on. They out right now.
Right.
So go get next to these coaches. That's the coaches for the league and talk to them. Show them your tapes. Tell them you nice. You know what I'm saying? They may not know about you. They may not know you available.
Right.
Go do that.
All right.
And again, it's a great, man, the gym go crazy. I'm going to send you some clips so you see it.
Yeah, some highlights. We throw them in the footage.
Yeah,
That'd
for
be
sure.
wild.
I'll send you some highlights. This shit go crazy.
So is the movie based on somebody that...
No. The movie, Rich came up with this concept. I don't know if you know who Alfred Hitchcock is.
Yes.
Old filmmaker.
Yeah.
He come back in the day, slide in with his big belly.
and a cigar, yeah.
And he had made a movie called Dial M for Murder. We took the Dial M for Murder concept and made it our culture. You understand what I'm saying? So it's for us.
Dope.
So, but it's the same concept, the same type of plot twists and everything. You gotta see, it's a lot of plot twists in this shit.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So you got Lance.
You know, we got Lance Stevenson, we got Safari, we got a brand new actress named Brenda Paulino, dope. Rebecca, incredible, and Trey Chaney. Trey Chaney's from The Wire. That's the 5 main characters in the movie.
Nice. How did Lance do? Because I'm gonna tune in tonight.
So
Tonight I definitely
I'm gonna
gotta
keep
tune
it
in and
all the
watch
way
the
a
movie.
buck. So Lance, here you go, bro. I'm gonna give you a critique right now.
Here it is.
Lance was all in. Anything you do good at, you gotta be all in. So, you know, if you have, we would say, like, you got both feet, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have them in there. You can't play around.
Right.
Lance was all in from the beginning because I did a very rigorous, let's say, reading every day for almost 2 months to get you to know your character to act, because I didn't want to go out in the field in production and now if you can't do it, I got to do it again.
Right.
Do it again. And that's costing me too much money. So I had a way, I did Zooms with all of them and acting, reading, and I seen him progressively getting better each time. He put in the work. The man put in the work. And all I told him when we were shooting is I said, listen, I'm not gonna put out no whack shit. If you fucking looking crazy, I'm not gonna put it out. So I got you covered.
Right.
And he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
I want
what's
you
up.
to take a look.
That's what's
I
up.
want you
I'ma
to take a look.
I'm definitely gonna look. Now, right
And
now, Lance can do no wrong in my eyes.
I'm gonna give you one more because
Yeah.
we did a soundtrack because of Lance. So Lance Stevenson started rapping,
Right.
and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's go make a song for the movie while we're
Right.
shooting."
Yeah.
Take him out to Circle House big studio. He tell me he never been in a big studio.
Circle
So don't
House.
ever get it fucked up, Lance. I did that for you, boy.
Shout out to the team at Circle House or Miami.
You know, yeah.
Love that spot.
Facts.
Love
So
that
I got my producer, Nuri Boy out there in Miami. Nice. Come in the studio, engineer. Lance was like, yo, he's usually making his records at the crib.
Right.
But what I noticed, again, both feet. He really want to do that music shit.
Now, look, we saw this Rap Radar shit go up
Yeah.
a couple months ago. I was like, oh shit. You see basketball player about to rap.
Yeah.
We know what just happened before that. So, like, another one of these niggas, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let them
You know
live
what I
their
mean?
dreams, man.
But I listen, I'm like, yo, this shit kind of fire. Like, Lance is...
Yeah, put the bars together and let me tell you if you don't hear the bars right.
Hold on. Yeah.
And I
son
told
could
him
do
the
that.
same thing in
But
music.
that's Coney Island, so I should have...
See,
it's
baby.
Coney Island.
I told him the same thing I told him in acting. I said in music, same thing. I said, Lance, when you in the studio, if it don't come out good, we could delete it. No one ever has to hear it. See, people don't understand this. This is where you're supposed to try shit
An experiment.
and experiment
Right.
because you might find that new sound, that new flow, everything that changes the game. I said, so just be free, man. And he don't get high or nothing. He's a very clean living dude, man. So, you know, getting high helps you stimulate some of that creativity sometimes for some people.
Some people.
But, you know, he's in there and, man, this dude was writing hooks. I started calling him the Black Drake because he want to sing.
Right.
And you gonna go to, we got the soundtrack out. The movie's out. The soundtrack is out right now.
On
all streaming platforms. Through Adventure Music, my company.
All right, look. We're going to figure this out.
Yeah, you got to. And I'm going to get you the music, everything.
Is Lance Stevenson the Black Drake?
Yes.
We need to know.
Yes.
We need to know.
Yes.
We need to know if this is happening.
The Black Drake. He was coming up with hooks and like man, for real.
Listen, Lance is super hot right now.
Yes, he is.
That one-on-one
with Beasley.
with Beasley.
Yeah. Look,
You know, I haven't had this feeling since like maybe early battle rap days when we really started doing like the Webster Halls and when everybody's there.
Yeah.
And like the whole crowd is just part of the whole shit.
Yeah. Vibing.
I haven't felt like that. Like I got goosebumps watching that shit. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, this one-on-one shit is crazy.
Man.
And then I watched Kyrie. He actually has a video of him reacting to the whole video. And I'm listening, I'm like, yeah, this might be some shit right here.
They got something there.
Word.
They got something there. The question is, what athletes are gonna want to do it? And listen to me, the money. Look at Joe Johnson. He was like, I'll play him, but you got to get that bag. Got to be bigger.
All right, Joe. We
Heard
got
you.
ISO Joe. We got you.
Yeah.
You. But there's gonna be other people.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm telling you, the way Kai was so excited watching it. I'm like, I know he
So if you ever, like I did with Tracy McGrady, shout out to Tracy McGrady, T-Mac, he has the OBL league. And when I go out to there, it's just regular plays that you don't really maybe know.
Right.
That's doing one-on-one. The game is so physical. See, if these pros bring that physicality there, the crowd gonna go crazy. Because these are elite athletes doing it. Yeah, they're gonna go crazy. I did a one-on-one right here with Day Day and Doozy. Those are two of the players from my league. Went viral, went crazy. Right indictment. I had T-Mac there and I had Jaylen Brown there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Jaylen. And they came to be part of it. Because I told T-Mac I wouldn't do one-on-ones without him because it's really when he started the one-on-one movement. But you know, it's one-on-one. You can't coin that, right? Everyone's going to jack you.
Yeah.
But what I was mad is they had one-on-one and they're like trying to for the Olympics and all that. How you not give that to T-Mac and let him be the nigga to run that shit? That's, you know, this is when you know the power.
T-Mac,
Hold on, watch this. This is when you know the power of Nike versus Adidas. Because that's where it goes back to. T-Mac's Adidas. Nike blocks him on every fucking front they can. Shit is crazy.
You know, the past couple of years, I've heard the rumblings of the Nike and Adidas, depending on who you sign to. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think
Shit
about.
is deep.
Yeah.
I'm going Antler. That's Kyrie's.
Yeah. I gotta shout out Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. But
Shout out Jaylen Brown. He started
But
his
real
own
rap,
shit.
that's the one-on-ones go crazy. And if you get these elite athletes to play like these guys do, like you just seen, that's why you said you caught chills.
That was crazy.
But it do take crazy dudes to do it.
Yeah.
Like them two is perfect.
Perfect. They was perfect. They was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
they made a
Beasley,
movie.
man.
They made a movie.
They made a movie.
But balling, you got Safari
Yes.
in there. What made you say, you know what? Let me go.
You know, Safari, when you look at these Tubi type movies, you see the actors and actresses that's in it. Why wouldn't he be in? Like he's got the following. I think he could be a leading man. He did really well. Again, followed lead, listened to direction. And as the movie was shot, it's only 17 days, so it's not a lot.
Right.
But you see them progressively getting better because they start understanding what acting's really about. When the cameras, the walking, and actually now you got to touch someone instead of just reading the line.
Right.
You got to talk to them with your hand.
Yeah,
you can't just be stiff and be, you know what I'm saying?
You really gotta like
Flow
put
with
yourself
it.
in a different zone.
Yeah, and they, all of them, no exaggeration, no bullshit. We had, if you get any of those characters that I mentioned there, or anyone that was part of the set, they'll tell you how great a time they had. See, I create environments because I believe environment creates the greatness, the sound, just like in music. We had incredible environments. And I'm part of the one that would set that environment, that tone. Whatever type of record we want, that's the kind of environment we would be in. You know, if you wanted to make a club record, we out in the club and then come right back to the studio.
Now this movie it's been #1 for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, going into the third week right now, and we didn't even start promoting. You know,
I did notice that.
I'm gonna tell you.
I think
what
Lance
happened.
did something like 6 days ago.
I'm
and
gonna
that's the only thing
I'm
I
gonna
saw.
keep it a buck. We put it out on Tubi. Tubi didn't even tell us when they released it. Safari's man hits him up, one of his fans, and tells him it's out. They love the movie, and then he hits me and Rich and was like, "What's going on?" And I don't understand. This is how they treat black movies. This is part of the problem of the business that we gotta fucking rectify. But you know, this is when you need the Dame Dashes, right?
I'm gonna tell you what
America News. You need America News because here's why. Because it's us, and he'll understand that. Where these big companies, they don't care. They taking your money. If I tell you the deals they giving out over there, it's ridiculous. It's so bad. You don't even own half of your movie. You heard me? You make $1, they own 55 cents. You're getting 45 cents on your dollar. That's thug shit. What was that shit with Bumpy Johnson? He put the cup, he said, you didn't pay your 10%. What happened to him? That's what has to happen. Wow, Tubi gotta get it.
Herb. I said Herb.
Yeah, so I told you,
Chris,
he's here.
You can't say stuff like that.
No, you gotta say stuff like that. Tubi gotta get it, bro. Tubi has to get it. There's an expression in hedge funds. You know, they make all the money. They make so much money. My boy Izzy makes over almost $3 billion in 1 year. That's how much money these niggas can make. And the expression is, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. You telling me Tubi at 55% ain't a hog? Nah, they gotta get slaughtered. See, that's the reality of what they doing. We have to eliminate them and go to an America New, next generation. These are the new generation. These are the independent-owned distribution companies that could get your movies on these places too, or have a place where you can go watch them. And we can make money. But the business there's 110 million, like I said, plus subscribers on Tubi. It's just numbers and math.
Right.
Math. Yeah. It's just numbers and math.
Right.
At the end of the day, if we did that with, let's use New Generation, we would make way more money and she would have all the power. There's a girl named Vicky out in Philly. She owns this New Generation TV. She would have all the power, which now we could control that by making sure we give it back to the people that's putting out these movies.
Right.
You know, how did Tubi get popping in the first place? It's like
Black movies.
Black movies, but low budget. See, Hollywood never thought niggas could make movies at this price point. First of all, they never thought we could make movies with cameras, like the cameras they use. And it's so political when you dive into shit. Your math, when you dive into shit, is fucked up because they changing what the policy is to use the camera to make it harder for us to acquire that camera
To be able
to shoot. Because we only accept this type of camera.
This quality but you got to look at things like Money and Violence.
Yes.
And how they were able.
Money and Violence. Go ahead and do your research. Irv. I put him on the Money and Violence. He sees it and goes crazy, gets in touch with them and brings them right to Jay and connects them with Jay to get their deal. Because that's what we do. We want niggas to get money. Right away, that's what we did. As soon as we seen it, go, Jay, yo, you know about this Money Vine? And that's how they got their first deal there. But this is it. They had their own audience watching. Now, if you could push that to your own network, right? That's the game.
Now you got to wonder. if you're out there creating Adidas, what's Nike gonna do?
Who cares?
You say who cares? Now I gotta ask you a question. This was something I was
Nike and Adidas coexist forever. That's something we was taught bad. Like
Right.
the coexistence of brands. Coke and Pepsi is cool. Don't give a fuck. Coke don't give a fuck. Pepsi don't give a fuck. You understand?
Right.
We was taught, no, you gotta be the one.
They agree on the price point.
How many fucking
That's why.
listen
That's
to
why
me.
they agree on the price point.
Well, they
As long
could.
as you keep your shit there, I'm gonna keep my shit here.
It
We good.
don't even matter.
Right.
You don't need to agree. You could see if they're bigger, let's say they're bigger, and that's their price point, you could say, I'm under that.
But the motherfucker that steps into the situation, fucking with the price point, that becomes the problem.
I'm with that.
I heard a rumor.
I'm with that problem.
I heard a
You
rumor,
gotta be.
and I want to bring it back real quick because I heard a rumor that at one point in time, when Murder Inc. linked up with Suge Knight,
Yeah,
there was talks about you guys becoming
a distribution.
distribution.
Not just Suge, it was Jay Prince.
Jay Prince also.
Yeah, I seen things where they mentioned Dame. It wasn't Dame. It was Irv with myself, Suge, and Jay Prince. And we had a real meeting. And the meeting was, Suge was like, I got everything on the West Coast. Jay's like, Irv was like, we'll take the East Coast. And Jay Prince was like, I got everything else. The whole middle of the country. He's like, I got all of that. And the idea was to start a union and create distribution for the artists and get money from these labels, budgets that they have when they sign, make them like force the labels to put into this to create insurance and everything for
401ks.
all of that shit for artists. You know,
What happened?
the feds came in. You know, Jay Prince said it in his book, I believe. He was like, he's the only one that escaped that Fed pressure. They came in right after we started talking that shit. They ain't with that. I believe that. You know, they hear everything we talking. They know everything. They know everything.
Right.
Don't ever think they don't know something. They know everything. That's why when they, let's say they picked me and Irv, they thought for sure we would just roll over. We're doing over $200+ million a year in our height. Like we're doing almost 240. It's crazy.
What did they want from y'all?
They wanted us to tell on Preem. That's it.
And that was it.
They offered us 3 deals. The first deal was a year apiece. We're facing 20 and they come back with a year. They're breaking federal guidelines just to do that. And they was like, you could go first, then he could go. This way the business never stops. So they're thinking business. That's what they said out their mouth. The business will never stop. You go 1 year, and when your year is up, he could go in, and you come home, and you go. This way it never stops. One of you here to run the business. That was their first offer to us. The next one was 6 months. The last one was no jail time. How many of y'all would have took that? Facing 20 against the feds. I tell my lawyer, Shagel, I said, fuck out of here. I said, tell these niggas stop playing, let's set a date. Shagel says, wait, Chris. They're sitting at the table with us. I said, wait, Chris, hold on. He says, can I talk to my client? And I looked at him because I'm like, why are you talking like what you saying? So we go outside. He said, Chris, as much as I know you're innocent, I can't assure you that 12 people in this system will say you're not guilty. I said, but Jerry, you want me to say something about Preem? What, you want me to lie? I'm not going to lie to just get a nigga to get myself out. So I said, if God has it for me and Irv to fight this shit from inside out, then so be it. Right. He started crying. He looked at me and started crying. He said, okay. He said, I'm going to fight my ass off for you. And we went back in and they said, let's get a date. And that's how we got our trial started. But it's just not in my moral creed or Irv's. It wasn't in our moral creed to even think that I'm going to tell on you just to save me.
Save me. Right.
Preem, in the 80s, I knew of Preem. See, this is what I had. I'm from Hollis. So you always have to explain, because Hollis and Southside don't get it. We don't fuck with each other. My whole adolescent years, I fought niggas from Southside.
Right.
So Preem is the king of Southside. So when we started fucking with all my house niggas, how you fucking with this nigga? Like, he's a good dude.
Right.
That's how. You know, he started meeting up with Irv and everything. Irv would call me like, yo, Preem is here. But why is Irv calling me? Because he don't know what's going to happen. It's the king of Southside. Right. You know what I'm saying? And but every time Irv was like, yo, it was all good. The nigga was good. Yo, it was cool. He asked me, can I make a movie? All this shit, you know? So Preem had ideas. And he got next to Irv, and him and Irv became real good friends. It wasn't me first. It was Irv and Preem. Right. And, you know, I told Preem all types of crazy shit with him and me. So when me and him got like that afterwards. But that's the 80s. He comes home in a halfway house in the 90s. We meet him then. So we built our relationship from then till present day. You know, I talk to homie all the time now. You know what I'm saying? Right. But at the end of the day, from then till now, it's like, I didn't know him when he was supreme of the supreme team.
Right.
When I met him, he already finished that. That was over. So I can't tell you of anything but what I seen. And that's what I'm trying to explain to the feds or my lawyer. Like, I don't see that man do nothing but help. He only helped us. How did he help? Like I said, every street nigga was on our back. Now we dealt with some, and then some he told them, yo, they with me. And they fucking respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He helped me, be careful of this nigga over here. He knew people to navigate through it. We did. I knock on wood because, man, we ain't got no blemishes on nothing. Nigga. You know what I'm saying? And niggas talk about Ja when he got robbed, when he was a young boy in fucking Hollis by the nigga Life. I believe his name was Life. Troy. Thank you. Life is someone else that I'm talking about. You're right. But Troy. But if you and me, you my man, I come in here, hey, what's up, man? And I spin on you. Pull that joint out, like, nigga, give me that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's big. Rule knew Troy. He, like, Rule's from Hollis. He's from Woodhall and Hollis, the end of Hollis. He's from there. And that's what the nigga did. He's like, yo, you bugging. You bugging. Right. And he was bugging. We got this shit right back. That's the one blemish that niggas want to always talk about, which makes no sense because it was like that could happen to anybody. If their man feels jealousy or envious of you for something. It's nothing you could do. You stuck in a rock and a hard place.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He turned it in, and that turned into everything. It was crazy. That made no sense.
You know, people expect rappers to be superheroes.
It don't matter. You know, we're real life superheroes. Like, I don't care about all this fantasy shit. That's why I said you can't stop me. I'm gonna do what I do. And then when you talk, I'm about disruption because I'm about us. And everything designed when you get into the crux of it. And I'm inside of it with a lot of white boys that are good, dear friends. And they understand my plight and what I'm about. So that's why we can still work and do things. But at the end of the day, if I see something, I'm trying to break it down. That Tubi shit. When they see niggas making millions of dollars, because a nigga was on the floor, he gets shot in the movie and he start talking and it go viral. Because that's what it was. That's what it was that made Tubi pop off.
Right.
Niggas got shot and he's like, yo, is it over yet? And that shit is in the movie.
Right.
Viral. Guess what? That's when they like, how are they making this money? That's how. Mm-hmm. That's our culture. We make something from nothing. They don't understand our humor or things we laugh at. Like, they don't get it. So when I see that...
Right now, it's a war.
Yeah. Why you think Kanye was making all the rants, bro? You think Kanye really crazy? Crazy?
I don't think that he's crazy. I think that people believe that he's crazy.
When you reach the pinnacles when you reach the pinnacles of the things he reached, he cannot believe he can't do something. And they show him you can't, nigga. See, that's the reality of what he goes crazy. They show him, like, as much as he feels in his mind, whether it's real or not, it don't matter. He reaches the pinnacle of things. And then they say, you can't do it? What? You think they telling Elon Musk he can't do something?
No.
You understand what I'm saying? You think they telling Zuckerberg he can't do? That's how he feels. So when he does his rants, I be understanding because I get it. And I understand the powers that's stopping shit that you got to deal with. And it takes that crazy shit to break that shit. You got to do something drastic or else you just getting along with everything. I'm not a get along nigga. I want to break shit. I disrupt. Here, I go into the basketball. Why did I start a basketball league? I see the problems there. I see them. It's coming. They there in front of us. I want to disrupt it.
Run towards the obstacle.
Yeah, I don't run away. I run to it. I'm in the fire, bro. I'm in the fire. And in music, distribution, labels shouldn't exist no more. How long should they get away with robbing niggas? That's the question niggas really got to ask themselves. How long should they get away with robbing? And then now, let's say they shut down. Someone has to create the new system that doesn't rob you. No one's creating that. I look at all these platforms.
Why is that? I'm
because
curious.
It's easy to get along. It's easy to get along. It's hard, yo. I get rejected and turned down for everything, and I watch other niggas get accepted because they accept things that I won't. You understand what I'm saying? It's cool. I don't knock you. That's who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cool. I'm not that nigga. You know, and certain things move me where, nigga, I don't dance for dollars. Some niggas, they dancing for dollars. They strippers, for real. Shaking their ass, everything. Yeah, you heard it. I'm not a dancing nigga for no dollars. Nah, I'm a two-stepper at the best.
That's all I got.
That's all you gonna get out of me, nigga. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Chris, I feel like as of right now, we've covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did. We gotta just get, like I said, I'm gonna stay on that movie soundtrack and stay positive again. But Tubi, again, and I'm on Tubi.
Right.
Why am I on Tubi? It's still the best solution for black film right now. But am I trying to get around them? Of course, because it's gonna be once people understand it, there's gonna be no reason why you go on there. You just gotta have a place. All you need, all Tubi represents is a place to have your movie seen and generate some revenue. That's all it's representing. They have a big audience, 100+ million.
We
but
it's
us.
We got to start realizing that we're really the ones building these platforms.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And what happens is, and it's like clockwork. We build it, they buy it, it changes, and now we're getting shorted.
Yeah.
Until someone creates another one.
I was just on with one of my partners from DC, Jerry. Shout out Jerry, man. And he does a lot of films, and I be picking brains, you know. And I call him, Jerry, talk to me. I need to get some info about this too. He said, man, Tubi ain't the same. Okay, he's like, I go to
purple and gold now.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, I go to the Tubi originals, right? Tubi originals, you got to get chosen, right? So now once you have that, I'll give you another one of my things. I told you about the pigs. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Okay, that's one of my expressions I keep in my head. Another one is absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if they're choosing who gets on this platform, what you think they picking? They picking they fucking
right. And
people.
Nephews, cousins.
Yes. And you stuck on the sideline.
The person that's going to pay them to be there. You know.
Again, now when you chasing money, you could go there because they're going to give you some bread for your film. But if they don't, they're not giving out that to everybody. So that's where you stuck. The majority of the films are not getting money from Tubi or sponsored by Tubi. So now what you stuck, and then they're not promoting it. They're taking 55 cents and they don't even fucking promote you. Like, think about it. And they still the best for black film with all of that.
That's crazy.
That's a hog for sure. You gotta slaughter that nigga, yo. You gotta slaughter that nigga, yo. Come on.
Chris Gotti.
Yeah. Yeah.
Balling's out right now. Go check it out. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Yes.
Shout out to Lance. Shout out to Safari. Shout out to everybody who was a part of it.
Trey.
Listen, hogs got to get slaughtered.
That's right.
We back.
That's right.